You want your computer to be faster. So you look at the specs. You see numbers. 8 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes, RAM. But what is it really? And why does having more of it make things smoother? RAM stands for Random Access Memory. It is not storage. It is workspace. Think of your computer like a kitchen. Your hard drive is the pantry. It holds all your ingredients, your files, your programs. But it is slow to walk to the pantry. Every time you need something, you have to get up and walk. RAM is the countertop. It is right in front of you. When you start cooking, you take ingredients out of the pantry. You put them on the counter. Now you can work quickly. You do not have to walk back and forth. The more counter space you have, the more ingredients you can lay out. The more programs you can keep open. When you open a web browser, it loads into RAM. When you open a game, it loads into RAM. When you switch between them, the data stays on the counter, ready to use. But RAM is limited. If you fill the countertop, you have to put things back. This is where slowdowns happen. When RAM is full, your computer uses your hard drive as temporary memory. This is called virtual memory. But hard drives are slow, much slower than RAM. So your computer stutters. It freezes. It waits for data to move from the pantry back to the counter. This is why more RAM helps. It gives you more countertop. You can keep more apps open. You can have 50 browser tabs open. You can edit video while streaming music, without slowing down. But there is a limit. Adding more RAM does not make your computer infinitely fast. If you only have one program open, 32 gigabytes of RAM will not help much. The countertop is empty. You are not using the space. So how much do you need? For basic use, web browsing, office work, 8 gigabytes is enough. For gaming, 16 gigabytes is the sweet spot. For video editing, three-dimensional rendering, 32 gigabytes or more. But speed matters too. RAM has a frequency, measured in megahertz. Faster RAM means data moves to the CPU quicker, like having a faster assistant in the kitchen. And there is a type, DDR4, DDR5. Newer is faster, more efficient, but you need a motherboard that supports it. Here is what most people do not know. RAM is volatile. When you turn off your computer, everything in RAM is erased. That is why you have to save your work. Saving writes the data from the countertop back to the pantry, to the hard drive, where it stays permanently. This is also why restarting your computer fixes problems. It clears the countertop. It wipes the RAM. It starts fresh. No clutter. No leftover data from crashed programs. So do you need more RAM? If your computer slows down when you multitask? Yes. If you run out of memory warnings? Yes. If just browse the web? Probably not. Upgrading RAM is one of the cheapest ways to boost performance. It is easy to install, and it makes an old computer feel new again. But remember, RAM is not storage. Do not confuse gigabytes of RAM with gigabytes of hard drive space. One is your workspace. One is your warehouse. You need both. But for speed, focus on the workspace. If this clarified things for you, smash that like button. Subscribe for more tech explainers. And tell me in the comments, how much RAM does your current device have? The answer determines what you can do.